Good morning, all my friends, pals, and confidants. It is Wednesday morning, July 9th, and today at 1:18 a.m., my baby girl turned 50. How's that possible? I'm barely 50 myself, and my child just turned 50. Happy birthday, Chalet Marie Farmer Hall. I love you to pieces. I doubt she'll ever see this. She doesn't watch my videos. Anyways, any of y'all that know Chalet, wish her happy birthday. She's not on Facebook, so try anyway. Well, it is Acts chapter 5 this morning, the story of Ananias and Sapphira. I am going to read it, but I'm going to talk a little bit about what they did, exactly what did they do that was wrong, and why they received the punishment that they did. It was pretty severe. Okay, let's start. New King James Version, chapter 5, verse 1. But a certain man named Ananias with Sapphira his wife sold a possession, and they kept back part of the proceeds. Is that the sin? No. His wife also being aware of it, and brought a certain part and laid it at the apostles' feet. Was that the sin? No. But Peter said, Ananias, why has Satan filled your heart to lie to the Holy Spirit and keep back part of the price of the land for yourself? While it remained, was it not your own? And after it was sold, was it not your own to control? Why have you conceived this thing in your heart? You have not lied to men, but to God. Then Ananias, hearing these words, fell down and breathed his last. So great fear came upon all those who heard these things, and the young men arose and wrapped him up and carried him out and buried him. Now it was about 3 hours later when his wife came in, not knowing what had happened, and Peter asked her, tell me whether you sold the land for so much. She said, yes, for so much. Then Peter said to her, how is it that you have agreed together to test the Spirit of the Lord? Look at the feet of those who have buried your husband are at the door, and they will carry you out. Then immediately she fell down at his feet and breathed her last breath. And the young men came in and found her dead and carried her out, buried her by her husband. So great fear came upon all the church and upon all those who heard these things. Okay, so just prior to that, we read that they were all of one spirit, and this man, Barnabas, had sold, let's see, did he sell everything? No, it just says he sold land. Having land, sold it, and brought the money and laid it at the apostles' feet. So people were doing that, and Ananias and Sapphira connived this story that they were going to sell this piece of land, which they did. But instead of giving the whole thing, which is what they told people that they did, there's the sin. They gave part of the money, which they had every right to do. They didn't even have to sell their land. It wasn't a requirement. It was just something that some people, led by the Holy Spirit, were doing. So they sold their land for, say, $100,000. They kept $50,000 and gave the apostles $50,000, saying that's what they got for the land. They lied. They didn't. All these people were new Christians. So all these people were still learning about Jesus and the Holy Spirit and God. Many of them had known about God their whole lives. They were Jewish, but they hadn't really learned about God and the Spirit of God, and knowing that God is omnipresent. God is omniscient. Omniscient means knows everything. Omnipresent means he's always here. His spirit in us is always here. He knows everything you think, say, and do. That's why my thing in life is, and believe me, I make my mistakes. My husband and I got into a row last night, and I did something that immediately I was regretful. I dumped a drawer on the floor. I was mad, not because of anything to do with the drawer, but anyways, I was mad and I was immature and I dumped the drawer. Do you think that made God smile? No, it did not. It maybe even brought a tear to God's eye, thinking, oh, Luann, why did you have to be so childish? God is omniscient. He knows everything. The Holy Spirit lives in me, so he's here with me. Did the Holy Spirit lead me to dump that drawer? No, he probably tried to stop me, but me, Luann, overpowered and got mad. Now, as far as Ananias and Sapphira, they planned this out because she hadn't even talked to him in 3 hours. At least 3 hours. At least 3 hours, because he came in 3 hours before that and said, look what we did. We're giving this all to the Lord. Liar, liar, pants on fire. God struck him dead. That was his immediate punishment, because God, being perfect, cannot tolerate sin. Are Ananias and Sapphira in heaven? I don't know. I don't know what truly was in their heart. Were they truly Christians, or were they just going with the flow? You know, friends and neighbors and family became Christians and that seemed to be the thing to do. I don't know. The Bible doesn't say it, so I'm not going to assume. You know what assume does? Makes a donkey out of you and me. So they were killed. God didn't kill me last night because I dumped the drawer. Thank goodness. But I asked forgiveness of my husband, and I asked forgiveness of the Lord, and I prayed, and I still feel horrible for what I did. My husband asked me last night if I was okay, and I was like, It had nothing to do with him. It was because of my actions. I had applied for a job a couple weeks ago, and I found out yesterday I didn't get it, and I worked really hard unpacking and organizing, and I just had a really bad day. And I didn't fix my husband the beautiful dinners that I've been fixing him. So, you know, I was feeling kind of crummy, and that probably added to my immaturity. So remember that God is always with you. He sees, he hears, he knows your heart. My goal in life is that no matter what I think, say, or do, because he knows, is to always make him proud. I want God to be proud of me. I want the Holy Spirit to be happy he's dwelling in me. I want God to nudge his angels and say, see my girl? I'm so proud of her. Don't you want God to be proud of you too? Be truthful. The apostles, the church would have been thrilled to receive half the money from Ananias and Sapphira. They didn't have to give anything, but they gave half. So in that was good. That was a credit to Ananias and Sapphira that they even gave anything, but they gave half of what they made. The sin was that they lied about it, and they tried to make things look better than they really were. They didn't give it all, which is what they said. They gave half. So do good today. Remember that God is always watching you. He loves you, and so do I. Bye.